Good morning. It's Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern or 5 o'clock Pacific or wherever you are. It's 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday morning. It's time for another episode of NRG This Week. Here we go. Welcome again to another episode of NRG This Week. I'm Leon Thomas, joined every Wednesday at 8 a.m. by NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner. Let's bring Mike right on into the show. Hey, Mike. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Leon. I am doing absolutely fabulous. How are you this morning?
All is good. Here we are again, another episode of NRG This Week. We have an exciting guest on with us today. But before we talk about the guest, tell us what's happening with NRG. There's something big happening on Friday. Tell us about
Leon, it's big, it's enormous. It's going to be amazing. In 53 hours, Friday, March 3rd, 2023, the NRG Spring Extravaganza. It's going to be from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have 3 breakout sessions. We've got sponsors. We just added Doug Roy, a virtual magician. But today, and it's so appropriate, on the show, we've got James Monteith from Florida. He is our keynote speaker with LinkedIn. He's a LinkedIn lead generation. He's been doing it for 16 years, and he's going to be speaking right around 3 o'clock. So that's the place to be, Leon. Friday, March 3rd, the NRG Spring Extravaganza. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be riveting. You don't want to be anywhere else.
it. Wait
You
a minute.
don't want to be
Stop,
anywhere else.
stop. Calm down. I got to ask you two questions. What's the
Sure.
difference between big and huge? You said it's going to be big, it's going to be huge. What's the difference between the two?
Leon, these are all adjectives to get people pumped up to
You
come to the
know,
event.
but the
Some
reason I
people like,
say that, we have an editor on staff at the Leon Thomas Group.
yes,
And when I write things that say big and huge, he'll like, no, you can only use one. But
you
wait,
know,
you're so excited about this, and I understand why. It can be big and huge.
Leon, I'm going to blame my mother. When I was 13 years old and we got bar mitzvahed, all the other Jewish kids got bar mitzvahed. We got them thesauruses. So I read the thesaurus: big, large, enormous, huge, exciting. We don't need to leave it to one adjective. Someone may like the word big, someone may like the word enormous. I relate to everybody. Does that make sense? I'm blaming it on my mother. I
Blame your
love
mom.
her. She's amazing. It was the thesaurus that was the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah gift for all those Jewish kids at 13 years old back in 1977 when disco was around. So that's my answer to that, Leon.
And to that, I'm gonna say, quit buying gift certificates to restaurants for people. Buy them thesauruses. That's what I'm gonna say to that. Now, let's go to
Exactly.
something else. You said you're gonna have a virtual what? A virtual who? Magician?
I'm gonna get him on the show very soon. Doug Roy. He's done it before, and I called him the other day. I'm like, Doug, we've got the biggest extravaganza yet. Big, large, enormous. You got the drift of that, Leon. So Doug is going to be on for 10 minutes. He's doing magic with cards. I've seen him. You remember David Copperfield, Doug Henning? Doug Roy is that good. I will get Doug here on the show. He's out in Utah. We met a year ago. He just renewed his NRG membership for year number 2. I said, Doug, what are you doing on Friday? I need my virtual magician. If you like magic, come to the NRG extravaganza. He is going to wow you. He's going to entertain you. I won't go down the thesaurus route, but
Listen,
he
hold
is
hold on a second.
amazing.
You're telling me a virtual magician. Listen,
Yes, sir.
can I, producer Jay, can I get a single shot, please? Can I get a single shot? Bring the camera, zoom in on me. Watch this. Here's a virtual magician. Right? I mean, come on. What is this? What kind of outfit are we running here, Weiner?
Zoom has opened up the whole world, and NRG's mission is to capture a little bit about everything and bring you the best networking experience you've ever seen. Doug will entertain you with his magic. Leon, 3 p.m. Eastern, for all those watching this, you don't want to miss the virtual magician, Doug Roy.
All right. Now, tell us about today's guest here on NRG this week. Tell us about James.
I met James Monteith. He was referred to me, and our company name is Network Referral Group. Ron Beer Butani, who is in Maryland, who I need to get on the show. He's probably one of the most charismatic IT guys. Referred James. James shows up in Tampa, Florida, small group, and he got his 3 referrals like he always does. And then, I blew his phone up with 20 more. James and I hit it off right away. He's with LinkedIn. I have 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. I've had that for 11 years. I've always been intrigued with LinkedIn. And, there's 184 million people in the US, Leon, with LinkedIn. There's over 800 million people worldwide. James and I became instant friends. And he's now helping a lot of NRG members navigate LinkedIn. He's going to teach us on Friday about the do's and the don'ts and secrets. I don't want to give everything away, but James is a great guy. He's out of Florida. We become very fast friends, and I'm super excited. I called him yesterday. I'm like, James, you need to be on NRG this week with Mike Weiner and Leon Thomas. He's like, dude, if you're asking me to be there, I'm there.
He's
So
here.
I'm really excited to have James Monteith here from Florida.
Let's bring hey
Leon.
James. James, how you doing? Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being with us. So James, hold on a second now. Let's go back. You were in the studio listening to the early part of the show. Is it okay to use big, huge, and enormous in the same sentence, like right after each other? Is that okay to do?
Heck yeah.
And is
That
it
just makes
okay to
it
do
bigger
on
and more
LinkedIn?
enormous and more
Is that
huge.
okay to do on LinkedIn?
Sure. I mean, if you're talking to people, like you would talk to people, that's how you need to talk to people on LinkedIn. You don't want to, you want to talk, to them, not at them, you know, just
Okay.
like you were having a conversation
All
live.
right. Right
Yeah.
on. Well, thanks for joining us here on NRG this week. We're glad to have you here, and you're going to be the keynote speaker Friday during the NRG extravaganza. You've got to be excited about that.
Oh yeah, I'm prepping up, and I have my little cheat sheet, what I'm going to say and everything, just trying to get everything from the years of doing it out of my head.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's right. That's right. It's got to come
Yeah,
from
it's all up
here
there.
to here, and folks got to have to understand what you're talking about. Right on. So Mike says you're the man. Confirm or deny?
Mike's the man.
Mike's the man.
so you know what are you asking me here? Are you
So
asking if I'm the man?
tell me. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Some of our viewers, some of you guys may know, maybe recognizing the name Yogi Berra, right? He was a baseball player, baseball manager, and he had all of these unique quotes. And one of the things that Yogi Berra said, "It ain't bragging if you done it. It ain't bragging if you done it." And I think that sometimes in business we play ourselves too humble, as in, well, I'm just doing what I do. I'm just helping people, blah blah blah. But inside we're like, you know what? I'm really good at what I do, and we don't bring it out. And so one of my goals in March, when I find people that really know their stuff, I'm going to tell them, "You're the man. You're the lady." Mike says, "You the man."
Well, I'm helping, people connect, to the right people. And I'm helping to do it for them so that they don't have to learn LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
So I'm actually doing the work of helping them do that. And that's really the front line of anyone's business, to be honest with you, because, it's all about talking to people, just like NRG. It's the same type of concept.
Okay.
If you need to consistently reach out to the right people, on a consistent basis, and that's how you get business. If you don't do that, then everything's going to slow down.
Right.
And I always tell people, where do you get money? You get money from people. And the more the right people you talk to, the more money you're going to make. But also the more people you're going to help as well, because you're going to be, finding new communities, new circles of people, and then you'll get more referrals, and it kind of builds upon itself. So this is just the kind of the front line of getting to those new circles of people, and very strategically, for the best people, for your business that would be most likely interested in what you have, and you solve the problems for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Now tell me, how did you get into LinkedIn generation? How did this become a thing for you?
Now that's a story. Well, like some of us, I had some financial issues in 2007, 2008. And so I was thinking to myself, what could I do that basically would, withstand the time, like in recessions and different things, and I started out on MySpace. Does anyone remember MySpace?
Oh my goodness, yes, MySpace. Wow.
Yeah, so I started, contacting people, targeting people, contacting people over MySpace for businesses. And that's really how it started out. And then, I looked at LinkedIn and I was like, oh, wow, okay, that's a business platform. The conversations are already geared toward business, so it was just a no-brainer, to switch over to that. The targeting's better and, everything else. And then Facebook, of course, kind of took down MySpace, so it was a good move. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Right on. We're going to learn more about you and have some more conversation with you. I'm going to step away and you and Mike go ahead and chat for a bit.
So, James, very, very excited to have you as our keynote speaker coming up on Friday. You and I have actually known each other for a really short time. I'm very thankful to Ron Beer for introducing us. So,
Yeah.
for the viewers out there, and the cool thing about NRG this week, James, is that people could be watching this now. We're going to share this, you and I, on Facebook and LinkedIn and put it on the NRG website. Give us an idea as far as LinkedIn. Give us a teaser. And, I usually ask 3 questions, and I really just come up with them as we go. But give us a teaser of what you're going to, maybe one tip you're going to talk about with LinkedIn, or not even the tip, but kind of a question, a thought provoking question, because people don't really understand LinkedIn as well as they should. And you are definitely the expert. You've been doing this for 16 years. You and I have developed a really fast friendship because literally we're both about helping people. You do it with LinkedIn, I do it with networking. But give us an idea of one thing you're going to talk about on Friday.
Well, the difference between attraction marketing and direct outreach. A lot of people are thinking social media and they're thinking posting, content constantly, which is good. That's the kind of the other half of what I help with. So, it's just sometimes, especially when you're first starting off in business, it can take a while to kind of grab hold, when you're trying to attract people, and you might have a little bit more inconsistent results at times. So, the way that I'm helping and the way that, I've found to find consistent conversations is actually outreaching to people and starting conversations through messaging. Now you have to be careful, how you do it and what you say and whatnot. And that's part of what, I'm going to go over on Friday, but that is part of it. The content and everything, that's really good for credibility and for, people to see
Right.
and everything, and that's a big part of it. But, what I am particularly going to be talking about is, like the messaging and the do's and the don'ts and what you should say and how you shouldn't do it to annoy people,
Okay.
because it's a fine
Right.
line sometimes.
Now I got you. Now I love that answer. You've given me example after example at the NRG meetings of how you've helped different people from medical to chiropractors. For James Monteith, what is your biggest satisfaction when you land a client and they call you up and they go, "Oh my God, I just secured a $50,000, $100,000 deal. I've got 3 new clients, 5 new clients. You've changed everything about LinkedIn for me." What is your biggest satisfaction that you've had on them?
Well, that's, my biggest satisfaction. I'm glad I helped them, and on an ongoing basis, that's just a lot of times that's just the start of it. And so therefore, they're going to keep with the process because, this is actually a long-term process. It's actually, how you said you have 30,000 connections. That's like the max you can have in a
Yep.
LinkedIn account. And, you want to get up to that. You want to get up to that point. So good job on getting all those connections, but you're literally list building. So in the short term, you're trying to find leads and the right people to talk to, and you're trying to do business and whatnot, with new circles of people. But in the long run, you can re-engage those people that you have brought into this enormous list, which is extremely targeted. And you can actually have different segments of people, different lists within one LinkedIn account. So it becomes a really powerful thing. It's almost like, when you're email marketing or whatever, and you have your list, and I've heard this before, they say, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. So I'm very, I feel
Absolutely.
very good when I help people build those big lists in the long term. And when that happens in the short term, they stay with me and they build that list.
No, I love it. I love it. Thank you. And I don't think people realize how big LinkedIn is. And I shared it. You shared this with me when we met. 184 million plus in the US, over 800 million worldwide. If you are watching this right now, or you see this before Friday, and you don't come and see James on Friday, you're missing an opportunity. This is a way that you can, you know, develop relationships and attraction marketing and change your business. Most of you want to do better. You want to do better, and James is going to share with that. So last question, James, and then we'll bring Leon back in. You and I met a couple weeks ago. You were checking me, NRG out, and I was seeing if you'd be a good fit. And I remember we talked after the meeting, and you shared with me you've been doing this now almost 16 years. Networking groups you really don't do. What was it about NRG? And I've connected you with a lot of people. What is it about the culture of NRG that you like so much? And you joined recently. Are you happy that you joined? And I'm asking multiple questions. So, what do you like about NRG and the culture of NRG? Let me kind of condense it. I'm so excited to have you Friday. My question went aloof, but why are you so excited about NRG and the culture?
Well, the people that I met, in the Tampa group, and, I've been to the New York group, and I'm going to be trying to get around to different groups, over time, but everybody is really nice. And I like the way that you systematically formed how, you are like trying to help each individual person inside of the groups. Every person gets attention, and everybody tries to think of referrals for that person and focuses on that business, for a period of time, rather than, some business being left behind, and not
Right.
being paid attention to. So that's a big deal, in an organization like yours, is to make every single business owner feel special and have attention, and get their their money's worth, their time worth, of actually coming to the meetings and everything else. And everybody is really, the culture, everybody's really trying to help each other. And I think that's what really makes it work, is everybody really sincerely trying to think of, prospects for everybody else.
No, I appreciate that. That's a great answer. And I've been doing this 2.5 decades, and my biggest satisfaction is, new members like you getting results and satisfaction. So I know we're going to bring Leon back in, but you definitely want to be there Friday. It's going to be a big event. I won't do all the adjectives from the thesaurus that I learned from several decades back, but really appreciate you being here, James. And I am going to throw the baton back to Leon Thomas.
Catching the baton. So James, let me ask you just one question
Sure.
about LinkedIn. Not even a question, but it's more like a situation, right? Our company, the Leon Thomas Group, produces a lot of shows for individuals, and I tell them, one of the places you could post your show is on LinkedIn. And I look at that potential client's LinkedIn profile and I read their activity, right? And I see they have a LinkedIn account, they have a profile, whatever it's called. They're on LinkedIn and they haven't said anything for 10 years, right? Or I say, "Are you active on LinkedIn?" "Oh yeah, I'm active." And I look and all I see is Joe Schmo is liked. Susie has liked, Bob has liked, Barbara has liked. And I say, you haven't been doing anything on LinkedIn. "Oh yeah, I scroll every day." Do I have it wrong? Is that active? Tell me I'm
Well,
right. Please tell me I'm right. They got to get active as in talk, say something, communicate with somebody more than like, love, and go ahead.
well, I would say it's good to like post, every like once a week or so, or, something like that. Just kind of give it a, where people, that's the content part of it that gives credibility, when someone is looking at your account. Um, you can make comments, where, that'll be seen in the activity, and at least, they'll see, and you do want to be careful, when you're commenting on LinkedIn in a way, because everybody ends up seeing that stuff. It's different. The logarithm's different than Facebook, where LinkedIn is more connected, to everybody that your first connections, second connections with, and things like that. Now, what I do is in the background, and someone could technically be, working with me, and if they didn't do that stuff, it would still seem the same when you look at their LinkedIn account, because I'm doing something in the background to, just strike up those conversations. Okay, but it's good to have the credibility, and it's good to have, to see activity, on the LinkedIn account. So you're right, but that's not what I work on.
All right. So being active on LinkedIn is more than just saying like. There's more
Yeah,
to
I
there's
mean,
more
yeah,
to it.
it would be beneficial always, in social media, to use it a little bit more than some people do,
Okay.
because they just don't.
Yeah. Right on. Right on. Cool
Yeah.
deal. Now, let's talk about Mike for example. Did he tell you how we met?
No.
He didn't? All
Mm-mm.
right. I have an hour version of this that I can sometimes give as a networking speech, and I have a 15-minute version. I'm today going to create the 1-minute version.
Okay.
We're at a networking event. Mike comes up to me. He says, "What do you do?" I say, "I run that hotel over there." He says, "Tell me the top account in the area." I tell him. He says, "Come on, let's go see him." We go through the McDonald's drive-through. We go to the company. We park in the handicap spot. We walk up. It's a government contractor. They have a security guard at the desk. He says to the security guard, "Hey, Joe, how you doing? We're going upstairs." Don't sign in. Parked in a handicap spot. Walked in. He introduces me to the person that's a decision maker on a huge contract. He
Mm.
says, "This is Leon. He's been trying to get in touch with you. Y'all chat."
Nice.
There we go. And he's still doing the same thing, but he's doing it virtually. Is that pretty cool or what?
Yeah, that sounds like Mike. I haven't known
Yeah.
him long, but yeah, I could. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool stuff. So someone from the Leon Thomas group, that might be me. It might be our producer in the booth today, Jay. Could be someone else on our team. We're looking forward to hearing your keynote at the NRG Extravaganza. That's Friday. Mike, what time? From 1 to 4?
1 to 4 Eastern.
1 to
Yes.
4. We're looking forward to it. And James, how do folks get in touch with you if they want to learn more about you, get in touch with you? How do they do that, James?
Well, my company name is JWM Marketing Inc. And, my email, I believe you can see jwmmarketing101@gmail.com. Phone number to our website, jwmsocial.com. Phone number 229-292-5149.
All right, right on. And let's go through that website again. The website again, James, is jwmsocial.com. And the email address, that email address is jwmmarketing101@gmail.com. And when you get in touch with James, after you get through the hi, how you doings, say to him, I saw you on NRG this week. Right? Say that to him. And now let's go to the part of the show that no one likes. James, do you have a professional sports team allegiance?
No, I work too much. I don't even.
Okay, here,
Sorry.
Mike and I will will you one.
Okay.
You are now a Ravens fan
There you go.
and
We've
an
anointed
Orioles
you. We've
fan.
anointed you. Yeah, we've
Yes,
anointed James.
you are
Okay.
now an Oriole and Ravens fan. So let's start all over again. James, do you have a professional sports team allegiance?
Yeah, I'm an Orioles and Ravens fan.
Yes, you can come back on NRG this week. Right on. We're in now. That is it. It's time to end the show. James, thanks for being with us. Look forward to seeing
Yep.
you on Friday. Mike, you are just so excited. Mike, I've been around you for 20 years, 25, 30 years. I've never seen you more excited about an extravaganza than you are this one.
You know, Leon, I've been doing this law of attraction stuff for 6 years. And I told Raphael, my mentor, you do law of attraction and then it takes over you. And I've now, through Ron Beer, I met James. Everything is just going viral. And I really tell people if they want to be excited, you got to get your frequency up. Love and gratitude.
I've
Just think about that. I had a friend post something on Facebook the other day. He was very depressed. I went in there and said, hey, buddy, let's get together. But you know what? If you share love and gratitude, you can manifest everything. And I manifested James Monteith, Leon, and now he's an Orioles and Ravens fan. I mean, who would know? Who would
who
know?
knew?
But
Who knew?
if you're doing well in your business, if you're not doing well in your business, make a decision to have love and gratitude. Come see James on Friday. I will be there. It's going to be the best extravaganza. And,
You
Leon, where can you be in business for 2.5 decades? I'm still excited.
you
And that's
are
I've always been that consistency. The Cal Ripken, Cal to baseball is Mike to networking. Day in, day out, give it your best. And I'm
you.
so excited about James, and I'm excited about all the new members we're going to be meeting
I
through
tell you,
folks like
you
Sam,
are.
who Samuel connected me to 100 people from Canada. So
Yeah.
that's
This
networking.
is
That's
great.
NRG.
That's
That's access, baby. So we'll see
Mike.
you Friday.
Remember, beginning of the show, we talked about who the man, you the man.
uh, you're the man, Leon. I mean, you and I, brother, we've gone
You
back
see,
two and a
James,
half
see how
decades.
you toss that into humbleness? You see that? Go ahead, Mike. Say I'm the man. Do that part again.
Hey, Leon, I thank you for calling me the man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend. I won't sing anymore. Andrew
No.
Gold from the
Uh-oh,
70s.
Mike, listen, our producer Jay is talking to me. He says, number one, what happened to Mike? He said, number one, Jay, our producer just said, number one, he goes, why didn't we make him a Steelers fan? Yuck. And we got to get the show over. He said, we're 15 minutes over already. So we're going to get going, folks. If you want to be on NRG this week, get in touch with Mike Weiner. You can do so by giving him a call or a text at 443-756-9656. You can also reach him via email at mike@networkreferralgroup.com. Thanks for the episode of NRG this week. Here we go.